All right. Well, good morning. Let's just go ahead and begin by allowing the body to soften. Notice the legs beginning to feel heavy. Find that connection to the earth, to your chair, to your mat. Notice your feet resting on the earth. We'll let the muscles feel soft. And then release any tension we're holding in the toes and the knees. Soften the area of the hips. We'll keep our spines nice and straight as we allow energy to flow during this meditation. But let's relax the shoulders. Maybe they need a wiggle, but then let them rest gently. Let's let go of any tension we're holding in the neck. Across the shoulders, up the neck, all the way up to the muscles that surround the skull. Notice and soften as you release any tightness. Soften the muscles across the forehead. And pay attention to that little space between the eyebrows, that little furrow. And notice that space open up just a bit. Soften the muscles around the eyes. And let your eyelids hang heavy. Soften the gaze. If you feel comfortable, close the eyes. Let the cheeks hang heavy. And let's release all that stress, that tension that we're holding in the jaw. You can part your teeth and release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. And just let all that tightness disappear. And if it helps, you can touch any areas that feel tight just to remind them to soften and release. And bring your awareness to your breath, inhaling in and exhaling out. Just notice the breath coming in and out of the body. How is your breath moving today? Is it quick and short? Is it deep and long? We don't judge. We just kind of notice how is the body reacting. Now we can make changes. We can deepen the breath. We can slow it down. And as we do, the body relaxes a bit more. In today's meditation, we're going to be releasing anxiety. This rumination of thoughts in our mind. We're going to work to slow down that constant movement. The whirling thoughts in the mind. The worry that comes with it. The tension that it creates in the body. And I recognize that these thoughts that I have, that they're mine, that I actually created these thoughts. Which means I also manufactured the anxiety that is attached to these thoughts. And because I create my thoughts and the attached anxiety, I can change them. I can create new life ideas. I can see my experiences differently. And as such, I can release the anxiety. With practice, I can shift my thoughts. I can gain new perspective. I can create the thoughts about my life that are empowering. I have this power. I have control. And in this meditation, we will control all thoughts. We will practice this and bring a thought to mind. And this could be any thought that pops into your head, a belief that you have. I have to do the dishes right after dinner. I have to go to work. What are some thoughts that run through your mind? I have to call this friend. I need to do something. And might notice a little tension in the body as you bring this thought to mind. And let's shift. Let's shift our perspective. What if we could see this thought differently? What if I could hold off on doing the dishes later? Maybe even tomorrow. What if I shifted my belief? How fortunate I am to have dishes, that I had a lovely meal. How lucky am I? How lucky am I to have this job? I get to experience other people. I get to share my gifts. How can you change your perspective on this belief that you hold? How many different ways can you see this experience? And let's try this idea again. Maybe another thought came to your mind. Another one wanted to come in and be heard. And now we can shift and we can adjust it. How can you see this thought differently? How can you change your perspective on your ideas? I get to. I'm fortunate that I have the opportunity. How lucky am I? And the events in our life haven't changed. The dishes are still there. The responsibilities of work are still there. But when we change our perspective on how we see these, we release the anxiety that is attached. And let's allow that anxiety to be released. We notice in the body where it rests, the tension in the chest, across the shoulders, tightness across the forehead or at the temples. Breathe in to these spaces. And as you exhale, let that anxiety go. And let's practice together the idea of shifting the thought, changing your ideas. How lucky am I that I go to work? How lucky am I that I get to share my gifts and interact with people? I have opportunities to affect the world. And notice in the body how this feels. And bring in the emotions of happiness, of gratitude. Maybe there's a sense of joy, of release, of freedom. When we find that we have control over these thoughts. And let's make the commitment today to add these words to our vocabulary. How lucky am I? How fortunate am I that I am allowed? I get to. And we take away the words, I have to, I must. We let those fade from our vocabulary. And we move in the positive. I have the opportunity to. And bring your attention back to your breath as you inhale in and exhale out. And let's do one last release, letting go of any tension, any anxiety that might still be hanging out in the body. Take that deep breath in, and let it go. And notice your feet resting on the earth. In this moment, you're still safe and secure, and all is well. Notice the room that you're sitting in, the sounds. And bring your awareness back to us. And we'll place our hands onto our heart space. Almost as if you're giving your heart a hug. And this comforting gesture allows the body to calm. And we set our intention for the day. And we can ask the heart what the message is. What message does my heart want to share with me today? And maybe you'll carry forth your positive words. I get to. I have the opportunity. How lucky am I that I can? Maybe your heart sends you a different message. That I'm filled with love and joy. Today I am fearless and I take new steps to shift my life. Share your message out loud. And carry your energy forth. Namaste. Let me unmute you. So, before I do that, I mentioned I was listening to Hay House, and this was one of the techniques that Mel Robinson uses. She hugs herself, and it calms the vagus nerve. And we know that when we're calm, we're much more able to problem solve, to really think more clearly. And so that's what this practice is, which we've been doing, but now it just has a little different view on why we're doing it. So, all right. All my relationships are harmonious. When we create harmony in our minds and hearts, we will find it in our lives. The inner creates the outer, always.